So after 17 years of using Windows, I finally decided to make the switch from a Windows laptop to a MacBook. And this is not just any MacBook. This is a 14-inch MacBook Pro M5 Max. I have to admit, I wish I made this switch way sooner. And I'm kind of ashamed to admit that, yeah, MacBook is way better than Windows laptop, at least for creative apps like Premiere Pro. But when it comes down to gaming, I still think that Windows is probably the best for gaming. So here's a quick backstory. The earliest I remember using Windows was probably in 2009. And I started using Windows back when there was a thing called Internet Cafe. I'm not sure if those are still around, but Internet Cafe is basically a Starbucks without the coffee, just computers and internet. That's literally it. Like, you have to pay to use the internet and you have to pay to use the computers that are there. I mean, you could bring your own computer and pay to use the internet, but either way, the internet wasn't free to use there. I started using Windows at that Internet Cafe, and then eventually we owned a desktop which was also Windows, and then that's where I discovered Windows Movie Maker and I started to get interested in editing videos.
Alright, so what you're going to want to do is get your solder gun. See? Ease it up a bit.
And then from there, after a couple years, build my own Windows desktop from scratch. And that was running good. It played game really good. It edited videos really good at the time. I think it was probably the best, but I had some hiccups here and there when I was video editing on that Windows desktop, which I custom built. And then after that, I got my Windows laptop, which is the one that I'm switching from. This is the Asus ROG Zephyrus M16. At the time when I got that, I actually stopped using my Windows desktop because I found that the laptop was editing videos more smoothly and more faster. And at the time I thought that, yeah, this laptop is probably the best laptop for video editing. But slowly I realized that I was having some hiccups there and there whenever I was video editing on that laptop. And then slowly over the years since 2021, I've been thinking to switch to MacBook. And then yeah, about 2 weeks ago, that's when I finally decided to make the switch to MacBook Pro. And trust me, the experience is literally night and day. So the Asus ROG Zephyrus M16 was a laptop that I got back in 2021. I believe at this time I was in my final year of college, so I was using it while I was going to college to take some classes and all that. And I think I made like a day in the life video on that. It was really good at the time. Like, when I first got it, I thought it was the best thing ever. It played games really well. At the time, I thought it edited videos really well. But there's one thing that kind of stood out to me, which really sucks, was the battery life and the loud fan noise. Fan is still running after I restarted. Like, the battery life really sucks. Like, if I'm video editing, I'm not gonna get 1 hour battery life while I'm video editing. And if I'm just using it casually to just browse the internet, if I get 3 hours, that would be good. But trust me, I'm not really getting 3 hours of battery life on that computer either. And because of that, most of the time I have it plugged in on my deck setup behind me right here. So I'll just have it plugged in over there and connect it to this one monitor right here. So I kind of use it pretty much like a desktop. But as I said, it was kind of an upgrade from my Windows desktop, which I custom built. But as I said, there was some hiccups here and there while I was video editing. Like, for example, I would be editing videos and then all of a sudden it would take forever to render, or take forever to export, or even take forever to play back a video that I just played back smoothly a couple minutes ago. So there was bugs here and there, and those are some of the reasons that kind of forced me to switch to the MacBook Pro. Like, I always see creators online saying that the MacBook Pro is the best laptop you should get if you're doing video editing. But at the time, I used to think that, yeah, it's better, but I don't think it's that much better for me to switch. But trust me, after switching, the difference is literally night and day. Like, it is the fastest computer I ever used. Like, I have no complaints. I mean, there was one bug, but I'll talk about that later on in this video. But overall, I have no complaints. So yeah, I'm kind of new to this whole MacBook experience, but I've been using the iPhone for probably the past 6 years. So the user interface is very familiar to me, but there's some stuff that is pretty new to me and I'll need to learn as I use this MacBook Pro right here. With that said, here are some things that I had to change and get used to on the MacBook as a pass past Windows user. So as you guys know, the first thing I tried on the MacBook Pro was Premiere Pro. So I went ahead and plugged in my SSD because I usually edit my videos off of SSD. So I plugged it in, opened up the project, and while I was editing, I tried to do a save, and then I realized that I couldn't save to the SSD. I mean, I could copy from the SSD, but I couldn't like copy something to the SSD. So I quickly realized that the SSD is kind of like in a read-only mode. So I couldn't make any changes to the SSD. So I did a quick research and quickly realized that my SSD was formatted in a format that was not supported on Apple computers. So I had to reformat my SSD from NTFS to APFS, which is a format that is more compatible with Apple computers. But in the process of doing that, I didn't lose any of my files. So I pretty much just copied everything from my external SSD to my internal SSD on the MacBook, and then I reformatted the external SSD, and then I moved over everything back over, and everything worked good after doing that. And speaking of external SSD, I have to say one thing I noticed, that the external SSD on my MacBook moves pretty fast versus when it's on my Windows laptop. Like, I believe this SSD is probably rated for like 1000 megabytes per second speed, but whenever it's plugged into my Windows laptop, I probably just get like 250 megabytes per second when it comes down to speeds. But on the MacBook Pro, like, the speeds are like super fast. The next thing I had to change was the mouse scroll direction. I had to enable natural scrolling in settings to get my mouse to move like how it would on a Windows laptop. But I have to say, every time I connect my mouse, I have to go back to that settings and kind of just either disable natural scroll or enable natural scroll again to get it to work with my wireless mouse. But when it comes down to the trackpad that is built into the laptop, it works pretty fine. Like, I don't have to go into the settings to change that every time. I also had to kind of relearn how to move files on the MacBook, because I noticed that you can't like cut and paste. You can only like copy and move. And I also realized that the shortcut to like cut and paste was kind of different from the shortcut that you would use to like cut and paste on the Windows computer. But either way, I had to like learn that shortcut. I put it up on screen, the shortcut that I'm talking about, where you can just cut and then paste it instead of like copy and pasting. And I also realized that I don't really see they use the word cut. I only see they use the word move. So I'm not sure that's just an Apple thing where they don't use the word cut. And also small stuff like just even how to remove the charger whenever it's plugged in. I realized that you shouldn't like pull it out. You should kind of just tilt it at an angle, and then it will come off easy. Otherwise, if you try to just drag it out, it's not going to come out as easy. That's one thing I had to find out, because I was like there just pulling it and it's not like coming out. Also, it took me a while to find the settings in Premiere Pro. Like, usually settings for Premiere Pro on Windows will be under edit and then you go to preferences, but in this case on the MacBook, it's kind of in the top left. I mean, it's pretty much the same settings, but it's just in a different place. Also, while using Windows for the past 17 years, there's one feature that I really love, was the forward delete. But I realized that on the MacBook it only has a backspace button. But in order to get that forward delete, all you need to do is hold the function key and then hit that backspace, and then you get that forward delete. I know it's like one extra step versus the Windows laptop. Like on the Windows laptop, you'll just press the delete key and it will do a forward delete. Also, usually on Windows, when using Premiere Pro, I can just press shift and then delete, and that will delete and close the gap on the timeline. But here on the MacBook, I notice I have to press function shift backspace in order to do a delete, which also close the gap on the timeline. So it's kind of like 3 extra steps versus the Windows computer, which is just 2 keys, shift and delete, and you close that gap whenever you delete something on your timeline. So yes, just one of those shortcuts that I will get used to over time the more I use this MacBook Pro right here. Also, when I got Premiere Pro on the MacBook, I realized that the feature where the playhead will automatically select which layer it's on, that feature was disabled. So I had to just go in and enable that feature, where whatever layer the playhead is on, it will select that layer. I find that when I have that enabled, it makes my editing way easier. So yeah, those are just some of the things that I had to change and get used to on my MacBook so far, coming from a Windows computer for the past 17 years. Now let's talk about the things that I actually love about the MacBook Pro. So I think that I love the most about the MacBook Pro so far is when using the trackpad in Premiere Pro, it feels very snappy. Like the haptic feedback feels so good. Like you could know whenever your clips are like snapped on together and know that, hey, there's no gaps. Like the haptic feedback just feels really good as you're using the trackpad in Premiere Pro. And also I have to talk about the automatic selection of audio output. Like usually on my Windows laptop, every time I shut down my Windows laptop and turn it on back, I have to go in Premiere Pro and go into the settings and change my audio output to something else that I'm using. But with the MacBook Pro, like whether I'm using the earpods, it automatically just switch to my earpods, or if I'm using the speakers on the MacBook, it automatically switch to those speakers on my MacBook. And that just makes my editing so much easier because I don't have to go and change the audio output every time I change the audio output. It just changes it automatically. Also, to unzip a file is way simpler. Like you don't have to install a third-party software to unzip a file. All you need to do is just do like one click or a double click and it will automatically unzip that file for you just like that. And the thing that I probably love the most about the MacBook Pro is the battery life. Like I literally can edit videos for 5 to 7 hours just on the battery. And I'm talking about editing videos and still getting the full performance. Like on Windows, like yeah, you could edit videos on the battery, but you won't get the full performance. But on the MacBook, whether you plug in or plug out, you pretty much get the same speed, the same performance. Like with the MacBook Pro, I can be anywhere editing my videos. I don't have to be plugged in to get the best performance. And then when it comes down to the render speeds and the export speeds, like it is super fast. Like usually on my Windows computer, like if I'm using Premiere Pro and After Effects, and let's say I link an After Effects file into Premiere Pro, and let's say I make a change in After Effects, it takes probably like 5-10 minutes or sometimes even 30 minutes for that change that I made in After Effects to update in Premiere Pro. While on the MacBook Pro right here, like I will make the change in After Effects, and like by the time I switch over back to Premiere Pro, the change is already there in Premiere Pro. And that's where I can definitely say that if you're a video editor, you should definitely get the MacBook Pro. Like it will save you so much time, so many headaches. Like whenever you're editing on the MacBook Pro, you just have to be creative. You don't have to worry about bugs. You don't have to worry about battery life. You don't have to worry about performance or anything like that. Like if you're maxing out stuff, no problems. If you're editing at 4K, 8K, no problems. And if you're like using Premiere Pro and After Effects at the same time and Photoshop at the same time, no problems at all. So definitely, if you're creative, you should probably check out the MacBook Pro. Like, trust me, the difference is huge.
That's what she said.
So here's a render and export comparison between the MacBook Pro M5 Max and the Windows laptop, which is the Asus RZ Zephyrus M60. So overall, the MacBook Pro is way better, but there's some stuff that I'm definitely gonna miss from Windows. Like for example, the ability to play games when I want. Like gaming on a Windows laptop is currently better than gaming on a MacBook. So that's something that I'll definitely miss. Even though I don't really game that much, but I like the fact that when I had a Windows laptop, I could game if I want to game or edit videos if I want to edit videos. On the MacBook Pro, yeah, you can game, but the experience won't be as good as gaming on a Windows laptop. And I also realized that there's a lot of shortcuts on Windows that I've been used to for over the past 17 years. So it's gonna kind of hard to not use those shortcuts on the MacBook. But as I said, the more I use the MacBook, the more I'll learn the shortcuts that are on the MacBook. And maybe eventually I would forget about those shortcuts that I learned on Windows. But after using the MacBook Pro for the past 2 weeks, there was this one bug that was really annoying. But long story short, it seems like a software update actually fixed that bug. Future me here, no, the software update didn't fix this issue. But what I did, I went to Apple and I contacted them over phone. They told me to basically reinstall macOS. I did that. The issue still happened. I actually did like a diagnostic for them also over the phone, and nothing fixes it. The diagnostic actually came back and say everything was good. So what I did then is book an appointment to go to the Apple store in person and kind of just explain the issue more to them and see if they could fix it in person. Long story short, they did a diagnostic again and everything came back good. And at first they were like, all right, we're gonna have to replace the motherboard. And I was like, dang, I'm gonna have to wait for the motherboard to come in and then I'm gonna have to come back and have them fix it. So by the time I went to Apple store, it was already past the 2 weeks window. And I was like, dang, they're probably not gonna even take it back because it's already past the 2 week window. So I asked the guy if I could just return this one and then purchase another one, like a brand new one with that refund. He said, yeah, I have to ask my manager first if it's okay. And then within like 5 minutes later, he came back and said, yeah, you can return it and then you can just purchase a new one. So I did that, purchased a new one, and ever since I got the new one, I haven't seen that issue ever since then. So maybe I was just unlucky enough to experience that issue because I was searching online and I didn't see anybody with this issue. Like I didn't see anybody talking about this issue or anything like that. So maybe it was just me, I don't know. But for now, this new one right here that I'm using is working pretty good. And that's one of the reasons why I switched to Apple, because the fact that I can just walk in a store, talk to a human being, explain my issue, and have them troubleshoot it with me. And then if it doesn't work out, they just basically give me a refurbished product, or in this case, a brand new product. They actually let me keep the charger from the previous one. So right now I have like 2 chargers for my MacBook, which is kind of good. I also have like 2 MacBook boxes. I'm not going to do anything with it, but I guess I could probably sell the box on eBay or something. But right now I have 2 boxes. I don't have 2 MacBooks, but I have 2 boxes, 2 chargers, and a MacBook, a brand new MacBook. They didn't send me like a refurbished one or anything like that. They didn't even give me any issues to return it or anything like that. They just returned it, refunded, and I used that refund to buy another one. Simple, just like that. Like, at least for North America, I don't see any other computers that you can literally go in a store and talk to someone about that computer. Like maybe in like Asia or Europe, you can go to an Asus store or some other computer store and talk to someone in person. But at least for North America, I think it's really convenient to just walk into an Apple store and have them fix your MacBook just like that.
The bug was where whenever I connect my Bluetooth wireless mouse to my MacBook Pro and I'm like editing videos, I realized that the Wi-Fi will just disconnect and the Bluetooth will also disconnect for like 2 seconds or so and then will reconnect. I mean, it's just 2 seconds, but it's very annoying, especially when you're editing. And I also realized this whenever the earpods is also connected, it will do the same. Like it will just disconnect Bluetooth and Wi-Fi for 2 seconds and then will reconnect it right away. As I said, it's a minor bug, but it was very annoying. And yeah, I know this video was mainly about Premiere Pro, but that's the main application that I use on the MacBook Pro so far. But as I continue to use the MacBook Pro, I will definitely share my experience with the MacBook Pro, coming from being a Windows user for the past 17 years. With that said, let me know down below in the comment section any advice that I should actually do in order to get the best experience out of my MacBook Pro. And also let me know down below in the comment section if you have any questions about the MacBook Pro, because I know some of you guys out there are using Windows longer than I am and you want to make that switch and probably have some questions. So let me know down below in the comment section if you have any questions. Like and follow for more videos like this, and also subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on my videos whenever I post. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.